Hello! Last Looks, the second episode of the second season of Poker Face, was again a highly entertaining affair with many cute winks to the viewers. Let's have a look! We open with a shot of a funeral home called Finch and Sons, which of course brings to mind, well, at least to my mind, early noughties TV show 6 Feet Under, which featured a similarly named family-owned funeral home called Fisher and Sons. 6 Feet Under, which ended its run 20 years ago, was one of these shows that, along with The Wire, ushered what we have come to know as the golden age of television. Incidentally, much like this episode, one of the 6 Feet Under episodes featured a biker funeral, which will definitely make you want to listen to Blue Oyster Cult. It's worth a watch, or a rewatch, as it also familiarized the audience with a bunch of future TV stars. Speaking of stars, Poker Face keeps having a stellar selection of guest stars. Creator Rian Johnson has said in an interview that he wanted the guests to be the star of the episode, and it's always a good game to try to figure out who will be murdered and who will be the murderer. In this case, the murderer, played by Giancarlo Esposito, is called Fred Finch. And if you know Giancarlo Esposito from something, it's probably from Breaking Bad and its prequel Better Call Saul, where he played a character called Gus Fring. Gus, who was also not a good guy, had a similar predicament in terms of being around explosions. The explosion appears to have destroyed what was a beautiful building, and if you thought that the building was too beautiful, you were right. The building is called the Armour-Steiner Octagon House, and it is in Irvington in upstate New York, where a lot of season 2 was filmed. It's a National Historic Landmark, and you can book a tour to see it. It's also not the first time that it has featured on screen, as it was the location of an 80s obscure horror movie called The Nestling. The episode, which was directed by Natasha Lyonne, like season 1's The Orpheus Syndrome, leans into a lot of horror/pulp movie tropes. There's the old buried alive situation, that of course is the stuff of nightmares, even if it was slightly subverted here, as Charlie was not in fact buried, but almost equally dangerously headed into a furnace. There's the scary shadow approaching, and there's the whole someone's hiding in the backseat in the dark, used in too many things to list. My favorite of which is probably that sweet piece of TV that was Veronica Mars season 1. And of course, allow me to be pedantic, well, a bit more than I already have been, but I'm sure that by now we all know that you can't really knock someone out by simply holding a chloroformed towel over their nose for 20 seconds. But we all accept it as a handy trope. And now let's check with our old pal Charlie, who is in top form in this episode. We get Charlie's theme when we first see her on the beach, desperately looking for someone to connect with. She has several excellent lines when talking to that uninterested kid. For example, she says she might even run for Sheriff of Aspen, which is a reference to author Hunter S. Thompson that the kid unsurprisingly misses. Hunter S. Thompson was a pioneer of consult journalism and was most famous for his book Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which has been turned into film. Thompson unsuccessfully ran for sheriff in Pitkin County in Colorado on a freak power ticket, which included the decriminalization of drugs and renaming Aspen as Fat City, among other things. Charlie also says, in response to the kid not getting her references, that's why we need to keep books in Florida libraries. She's referring to a campaign to remove books from libraries in America by conservative organizations. Now, of course, banning books historically has been the hallmark of freedom. Why stop there? Maybe even burn some. I'll add a link to the list of the banned books in Florida for anyone looking for reading recommendations. Charlie also tells us that she has stopped smoking and has taken up vaping instead, something that has explosive consequences for the episode. Natasha Lyonne herself had said that she switched to vaping, but apparently, most recently she said in an interview to old friend Seth Meyers that she's back to smoking. That interview is a hoot, by the way, you should definitely check it out. Actually, the beach is not the first time we see Charlie in the episode. She was, after all, the corpse, and we can see her locks and vaping in the opening film footage. After the beach, Charlie goes to Publix, suggesting that they are most likely meant to be in Florida instead of upstate New York where they were actually filming. In Publix, she meets Keith Corrigan, a car scout, who Katie Holmes' character later takes an interest in. This is a mini Slums of Beverly Hills reunion, which is a 1998 small indie film starring Lyonne, where Keith Corrigan was her love interest. Charlie continues to throw pop culture references right and left, but unfortunately nobody gets them. We know she's a movie buff from season 1. When Hot Tommy tells her he's a teamster, she cheerfully says she has seen Hoffa, which is a Danny DeVito directed film from 1992 starring Jack Nicholson as infamous union leader Jimmy Hoffa, who was linked to the mob and who mysteriously disappeared in 1975. When Charlie is given a CB radio for the car, she says she will be like Linda Mance from the classic 1980 Dennis Hopper film Out of the Blue. Natasha Lyonne and best pal Chloe Sevigny have restored that old film to 4K, so if you haven't watched it, now is your chance. Charlie naturally strikes up a friendship with anyone who wants a friend, in this case Greta. She goes looking for her in the morning after they had agreed to go to Miami together, yelling, "We ride at dawn!" You think that might have come from something specific, but it is actually hard to pinpoint the origin of that phrase. Versions of it have appeared in Clash of the Titans and Lord of the Rings, and it has since featured in countless memes. The biker funeral is also great for pop culture references. The loving montage for Mama Bunsey features a shot from the Russ Meyers exploitation film Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, suggesting that maybe Mama Bunsey was Varla, aka Tura Sanata. And there's also the biker that reminisces how he had met Mama Banshee after Randy Savage had just died. Randy, Macho Man Savage, was a WWE wrestler who died from a heart attack while driving in 2011. The episode very cleverly uses music to advance its plot in ways that feel very organic. Sleepwalk by Santo and Johnny is the clue that tips Charlie into thinking Fred murdered his wife, while Ring My Bell, used as a ringtone, leads to the discovery of Greta's phone and helps Charlie confirm that Fred was loose with the truth about his wife's whereabouts. I'll let you decide whether Sleepwalk was cultural appropriation or just a couple of Italian Americans looking for something different, and whether Ring My Bell has hidden meanings that the songwriter deliberately tried to avoid in order to maintain the clean-cut image of singer Anita Ward. And that's all I have for you. Let me know in the comments what I've missed. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you don't want to miss my Easter egg videos for future Poker Face episodes. Thanks for watching.